and welcome to another episode of Trending Issues on Vanguard Life. My name is Precious Chukudi. I'll run with you the highlight of today's trend, and we have hashtag Toyin Abraham, hashtag Chidera, and also stories on Instagram. We have Nigerian lawyers tells us why people decide to go to top universities, and writer Ugoeje says why you should avoid trends like hashtag men are scum, hashtag fear women. And Tracy Zille talks about Nigerians and white wedding. Okay, it's very interesting. So we're going to discuss more on this when we come back after the break. We'll be right back. Alright, welcome back. If you're just joining us, it's still Trending Issues on Vanguard Live, and Toyin Abraham seems to be trending today on Twitter. And why? So you know, the Sugar Rush movie just came out on Netflix, and some Nigerians that were not able to watch it in cinemas can now watch it on Netflix. And some people are saying, are you sure? Okay, are you sure this Toyin Abraham, she's not like, you know, really overrated? And you know, a lot of very you know, controversial statements that is coming up. All right, I think it's the Ghost and the Tout. Yes, Ghost and the Tout, rather, the movie that is out on Netflix, and so many people are talking about that movie and saying that it's overrated. And also Elevator Baby, yes, Elevator Baby is out on Netflix, and people are talking about how that movie is overrated because Toyin Abraham, according to them, are saying that she's too loud, she's just overrated, you know. But some persons are saying that Toyin Abraham has been doing this since 2003, and you know, she's good at what she does. It's something for you to, you know, give credence to people who have been doing this job for a long time. And you know, her own particular kind of genre of a movie is comedy, so she's been doing quite well. And if you've seen Elevator Baby, that's the movie. If you've seen Elevator Baby, it was a good movie. She acted really well and played the role of a pregnant mother. Yes, a pregnant mother, and who was going to give birth in an elevator, stuck with one loud-mouthed rich kid who was just ranting and mounting off until the elevator went off. But it was a very interesting movie. But let's see what people are saying on Twitter about Toyin Abraham. Anu Oluwapo says Toyin Abraham is one of my favorite actors in Nollywood right now. I like the natural way she carries herself. She's so talented. This is from Mutara. She says, let's not forget that Toyin Abraham acted Elevator Baby while she was pregnant, heavily pregnant. Put some respect on her name, because you needed to see that movie. Like, her face was swollen. She acted that part really good. Like, she was, you know, lying on the floor, and that part where they brought out the baby from her belly, it was like, oh my god, is Nigeria going into some serious kind of scenes now? And this is from Benue Brit. Says, personally, I think Toyin Abraham is a good actress, but if someone thinks she's overrated, and that's his or her opinion, must you start raining curses because someone doesn't share the same views with you? That's how people on Twitter are. If somebody says something and another person doesn't agree, they'll start to, you know, rant and insult themselves, you know. So this is from Olayinka of Lagos. Says Toyin Abraham has been on our screen since 2003, and she's still here. She's underrated. She's better than some A-list so-called actress. She's a queen in her league. And so that's all about Toyin Abraham. I think she's a very good actress. It's just that some movies that you get to see on Netflix, like somebody said, some Nigerian movies on Netflix do not deserve to be on that Netflix. You need to see some movies. I can't start calling out names, but me and you know those movies that should not be on Netflix, but it's what it is. And away from Toyin Abraham, let's talk about Chidera. And this boy has been trending since morning. What has he been doing? Turns out that this boy stays in the abroad, and his mom was making a video of him destroying some properties, breaking plates, turning. I just imagine how a Nigerian mom will see her son destroying things in the house, and by the time they beat the hell out of you, nobody could tell you anything. And the boy was just opening all the pepper, the salt, all the seasonings in the house, throwing them on the floor, pouring everything in the fridge. In fact, this was so painful to watch. I can't imagine a Nigerian mom in this time, in this COVID time where it's really hard for them to even find food, to even feed their kids. Then that's one child that doesn't want to use his sense, that will not come and point everything in the house on the floor. And I think him and his mother were engaged in some sort of disagreement where he was asking his mom for something, and his mom's like, okay, I'm going to call your father and tell him what you're asking of me. And the boy started to throw tantrums and decided to go into the rooms and throw things on the floor, disorganize the whole house. She even had to call some persons that are like neighbors to come over to even persuade him. When I was watching the video, I heard somebody telling him, I love you, man, I love you, man. Oh, I love you, Nibo. For where? That kind of child, you beat the hell out of him. Like the good book says, fear the rod and spoil the child. You can't pamper rubbish. We don't take rubbish. And this is from David Atta. He's saying that Chidera was spoiled from a small age, allowed to grow into an idiot of an adult. Tomorrow you hurt or kill an innocent person who crosses his path, and all his parents will say is sorry. And it's the truth, because this kind of child, you keep pampering them and tell them, oh, don't worry, he's just behaving, he's acting his age. Children always act like this. We turn out to become something else. And those are the kind of children that we get to see. We see their mug shots and they say man kills wife, so man kills girlfriend, so all those things. And it starts from when the child is young and you don't correct them. And this is from Omawons, who says, this tantrum didn't start today. They have been grooming and petting it with baby hands, and now this adult is acting this way. We built Chidera to the village. Can't go Yeba. You have to speak Igbo. Exactly. Bring Chidera back home. Let us deal with him. We have to beat that character away from him. He's staying in their brain. You know, their brain now. Because any spot in the children feel like, we'll just call 911, call 911, Igbo, come back here, let's straighten you out. And then, so exactly, I think he should come back home so we can deal with him. There, his brain is not working. He needs to come back so we can take him back to factory setting. And this is from Ayemojuba. It says, your children must not suffer the way you suffer. Likewise, let your children have a glimpse of the road you walk in life. Striking a balance between will show if you do your job as a parent or not. Chidera's mom is the first casualty of this imbalance. His wife will be next. And it's the truth. Some of us will say stuff like, I don't want to raise my kids the way my parents raised me. For example, if you were raised in a way where you have to, maybe you don't get things that you want before you eat rice. Like some people will tell their story. If I ate rice, I had to pass my exam and everything before they gave me rice to eat. Or before I ever rode a bicycle, my father made sure that I passed my common entrance, my this, blah, blah, blah. All those kind of things, and say, no, my children will not go through that kind of life. I'll give them a comfortable life, I'll do this, I'll do that. Sometimes it's good to allow them see what you went through. That way they get inspired and say, oh, I don't want to, I want to be a better person. Our own African parents, child, will tell you that if you know how much I hugged pure water to send you to school, or how I did this, I did that, and that one alone would give you the inspiration to work hard. If you don't want to read your book before, you will read your book because your parents have told you how they suffered. So when you see a child like Chidera, it's apparently because he's been too exposed to the luxuries of life. So he's like, Dad, I want to go out. Please give me your car keys. He picks his dad's car key, and he's just driving. He doesn't see anything. Things like life comes, everything just comes when you order it. And that's one of the things that, gives us problem here. So this is from Oloye Ayo. Says, Iyatao should adopt Chidera. Crazy clown should replace Ade with Chidera. One of them should please do this CSR. Exactly. That slap that Taoma gives in her skits. That's kind of slap that Chidera will need, that will take him back to factory setting. So that next time he will not. If you see that video, if you've not seen the video, you need to go and watch the video on Twitter or on Instagram. You'll find the video. The video is all over, everywhere. So if you turn left, turn right, you'll see the video. And it was really a very crazy sight. Imagine just being in the house and you're pouring all the pepper, all the salt, the Maggi, the everything. You just turn everything because you can do it, because your name is Chidera. Oh, son of who? Oh, Chidera, I wish you were in Nigeria. And this is from Ostaino, he says the system abroad, United States especially, gives children the leverage to do as they wish. So I'm not surprised at Chidera, a full-grown man, being so childish. Exactly. Any small thing, oh, call 911, call 911, and parents like, oh, we need to be very careful, because before the child can say they are maltreating him, and they will not ask the child, who do you want to stay with? Child, your own child will tell the state that they don't want you anymore. Child that cried for 9 months, my belly. They must be joking. And Ostaino goes further and says, Igbo people say two persons shouldn't run mad at the same time. So using force on Chidera at that time might cause more damage. After he has displayed his own, they can now display theirs, maybe by dumping his sorry self in Nigeria. And that's the truth. If I was Chidera's mom, I would just say, let him do whatever he wants to do. I will just make sure I deport him down to Nigeria. Let him come and continue his schooling here. By the time he stays here in Nigeria, I want to see which person's house he's going to be opening salt and Maggi. And this is from okay, yes, so that's what he's saying, that we just drop him here in Nigeria. He just needs to come down here. Even the weather condition will just reset his brain. Everything around him, it will just dawn on him that life is different here. And away from Chidera, we move straight to stories on Instagram, and that's a Nigerian lawyer tells us why people decide to go to top universities. We hear of people who are going to Harvard, Princeton, all those top schools, Oxford, and maybe you might have a reason why you want to send your kids to those kind of schools, because this lawyer has some sort of experience to share. And he says, was catching a flight from Geneva to London in my Cambridge University hoodie. An Indian businessman traveling with his family asked me what year, what college. He was also an alum. I became his lawyer over a handshake, no CV, just one reason people go to these schools. Do I think it's fair? No. Do I think it's right that these schools don't want to discount their tuition even when transitioning online? No. But these schools know that they mostly have power as metric over the people who want to be affiliated with their brand. Therein lies the issue. Exactly. You can imagine being on the same flight with an Indian man. It's like, oh, I like this your shirt too. What school are you from? Oh, you just tell him, and he's like, okay, I want to be my lawyer, like that. Just be by association. It's a very interesting thing, and because I think they went to the same school, but then let's see what people can say about it. So are you saying that now because I went to one Nigerian school, now I will not see somebody that will not shake my hands and give me work? But that's not what he's trying to say. But let's find out what people are saying. Yeah, and this is from Ozo Yanga. It says it has always been about money and Nigerians. He says it has always been about money and elitism. Many people get into these schools because of their rich backgrounds rather than intellectual capacity. Anyway, anyone who has the opportunity to embrace and enjoy it. It's the same way if you have money too, you want the best things in life. So we should not look at it like it's a big deal, really. This is from CA Visa Service. It says, very true. Branding would win over talent anytime, any day. Branding would win over talent anytime, any day. Really, even if you brand something, the content is empty, people will just look at it and then leave it. I don't think I agree with you on that one. And this is from Amazing Law. Says, on this day I hereby make you my lawyer. Hashtag don't mention. Don't mention. And this is from I am Belati, greatest Nigerian student. Great. I want you to yarn. Well, that's how Nigerian school students that's how they identify them. Greatest of the greatest of the greatest of the greatest of the greatest. Oh my God, so much greatness in Nigerian schools. And this is Miza Moef. He says, let's work hard and send our children to good schools. God will do it for us. Let's keep pushing. And this is from Cavalli. It says Nigerian state universities left the group chat. And this is from Ima 50. Says good name is better than riches. A good name is better than riches. I don't see how that is synonymous with what this guy is saying. And this is from Food and Snack Recipe, saying may God pave way for those who couldn't afford those universities too. Okay, away from these people, let's talk about Ikechi Ugoeze, Ugo J that says why you should avoid trends like men as calm and fear women. Okay, so Ikechi says that if you're looking to build a great life, relationship, and marriage, be careful about trends like hashtag fear women, hashtag men as calm, etc. They plant seeds of fear, distrust, and uncertainty that can mess with your mind over time. Guard your heart with all diligence. Is it true what he's saying? Let's find out what people are saying about it. And this is from Sir Elt. He says this write-up is very correct. You can't want something good and be negative about it at the same time. This is from Queen Net. He says exactly, people are different and good ladies and good men exist. And this is from Customized with Rad. Says I don't care about the plenty domestic violence or divorce I read on the internet. I will get married to the love of my life and have a happy home. I wish you the same too, and I hope you do that. And this is from Pickup Man. Says my brother and sisters, avoid social media entirely if you can. You see, Twitter, it's not good for the faint heart. Well, all those men as come, just one of those things people say just to recount some of their experiences they've had with some men and some women. Not necessarily, it's not really general. I don't know. And this is from Official Bobby. Says exactly, relationship these days is like an audition. If it works out, fine. If it doesn't, it didn't count. And if it doesn't, count your losses and try your luck next time. And this is from Edo Boy. He says relationship, this one where they build, federal government comes in and then get land. All right, so we move away from that one to Tracy Zille. And Tracy Zille is trending. And she was talking about white weddings, and this is what she put out. She says this is not a white wedding. Now you know how we Nigerians, we glorify white weddings and say after traditional wedding we do white wedding. She's like, this is not a white wedding, it is a European traditional wedding for white people. This is our traditional wedding. The question to black people is, why do you spend so much money to be like whites? African weddings and European weddings wearing white people's hair. Hashtag coconuts must fall. Well, let's see what people are saying on the comment. Really, I think we're just already used to, okay, when you do your traditional wedding, then you do white wedding. So for some persons here, if they've done traditional wedding, they feel like they've not done wedding complete, that kind of thing. But some other people are like, okay, I don't want to do white wedding, I just want my trad and it's okay for me. And this is from Delish Chocolate. She says well, she raised a good point. However, she needs to be educated that her forefathers forced their culture down our throats, so we adapted. Saying this, I would never have a white wedding because she's right. So somebody is saying she's not going to have a white wedding. Good. This is from Brown Berry. Says because we want to just like you all copy our braid, makeup, dressing, attitude, etc. Keep that same energy. This is from Aroma. And says she's right, black always shout cultural appropriation, yet black bleach their skin, wear foreign hair, we try to speak like them, copy every damn thing they do. This one is from Unique. It says it's a valid question. Our own traditional wedding is not enough. Why you gotta marry a woman 3 times? You do introduction, white garment, and also traditional wedding. Why you've got to waste so much you can put into your future? A lot of people have done this and ended up hating themselves because they couldn't cope after spending so much to impress bunch of strangers. It will always baffle me. Anyone that rocks your boat, if you want to do the white wedding, traditional wedding, just do what you need to do. But then for some people, they will do the traditional wedding and also the white wedding. So let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think that you would want to do your white wedding and traditional wedding, or you just rather have your traditional wedding as the only wedding ceremony you'd like to do? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Remember that you can equally like, share, and subscribe on all our social media platforms showing on the screen. And if you want to find out more of our top stories, just go straight on our website www.vanguardngr.com to find out more of our top stories. Yes, you find more on that. Thank you for watching. My name is Precious Chocolate. I come your way next time. Hala.